A ruthless Jose Mourinho has turned up to Old Trafford this season, as it seems, and I think that is exactly what Jose has to be doing. So, according to many reports, numerous players were told they could leave the club, and of those players, headlining the list is World Cup winner Bastian Schweinsteiger. Now, this came as a surprise to me. I will be as honest as I can be. As always, you guys expect that. I didn't expect Schweinsteiger to be one of the players to be told that he could move elsewhere, especially when you see the likes of Michael Carrick being offered a new extension and said to be within Jose Mourinho's plans, especially seeing as how Bastian Schweinsteiger performed at the Euros when he was given the chance. I thought he did a pretty stand-up job in Germany's midfield, and I think that Jose Mourinho, seeing the ability that he has to draw out extra years from players that you would expect to have went past their sell-by date, I thought that Bastian Schweinsteiger would have fit into his plans. But that being said, that's just a minor blip, I think. If it is to be said that Bastian's allowed to go, yeah, I think they could have used him and Jose Mourinho could have worked his way and try to get something else out of him. But everyone else is immediately replaceable. There is no problems here. And that's even with the likes of Fosu-Mensah, who last season had some good games. And I was one of the first Manchester United fanboys to say, this guy's got some talent and he puts in a hard tackle and he gets the job done. But I myself, along with everyone else, was kind of blinded by mediocrity at that point. And was like, if I'm a Man United fan or if I just want to see Man United perform well, I will take effort and I will take hard work and I will just immediately place that at the top of my priority and be like, all right, give me effort, give me 100%, do your job, you're acceptable. And that's how laughable things got at Manchester United last season. So that's the thing. This is the thing. Ready for the thing? It became far too often that Manchester United would deem mediocre performances as acceptable, similar to a lot of clubs when they're on that kind of downward spiral. You just kind of take what you can to give yourself optimism, to give that sense of, all right, we're going in the right direction because this guy's putting in some effort and he's putting in some hard tackles. So he's the type of guy we need. Jose Mourinho does not stand for that. That's not acceptable in any of his teams. He's expecting nothing but the highest quality. So it does not come as a surprise to me when you see Zlatan coming in this season and Mkhitaryan coming in this season that the likes of Januzaj have been told they can go elsewhere. And the funny thing is, Manchester United fans, the diehard fans, last season just flocked in their thousands to one of our clips defending players that I said were redundant and they had to leave because they were replaceable. Far too many players. I put Michael Carrick on that list. I was even tempted to put in Dele Blind, even though he did an okay job for what was asked of him last year, and he's a good versatile player to have in case you need someone to fill in at defensive midfielder or left back. I'm surprised that Rojo hasn't been told he can go as well because he's another player that doesn't offer anything that is so fantastic that he deserves a place over anyone else. And I think that, yeah, he showed that he's as an efficient defender when he has to be for Argentina, but is he of that Manchester United quality? That is the question now. Bringing in a character like Zlatan, yeah, he's moving into his latter years, but he still encompasses excellence. Manchester United used to have excellence in every single position. Gary Neville was never the most attractive footballer, but he was excellent positionally. He was excellent defending. He was excellent one-on-one. Dennis Irwin, the exact same, excellent in everything that he did. You don't have to be glorious. You don't have to be the glorious footballer on every position the way that is expected in world football today, which is a myth. Because you can have teams that aren't excellent to watch, but together they play excellent. Like Portugal, for instance, in the Euro 2016, like Leicester this season. So rhyming off the list of players that have been told they can go elsewhere, the 9 players that were actually sidelined on the clear-out on Thursday defenders was Timothy Fosu-Mensah, Paddy McNair, Tyler Blackett, and Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, another player that was deemed to impress under Louis van Gaal. Again, I think we were blinded by what we had seen. He offered something a little different than Rojo, so we were like, all right, this lad's got it. He can stick around. But I think mediocre was deemed acceptable. Bastian Schweinsteiger, Andreas Pereira, Adnan Januzaj for the midfielders, and then strikers Will Keane and James Wilson. So a couple of points that has to be stated here is that Fosu-Mensah is also trained with the under-21 squad, and he could earn reprieve according to the Mirror article, once Mourinho has had a look at him and he recovers from his calf injury. James Wilson met with Mourinho and he has been told that part of United's long-term plans with the door left open to him for the stay, so he can play in the under-21 side as well. So there's a couple of players in there that are still young enough to be able to maybe go out, get some experience like Pereira, and then come back and see if they can get into the squad. But if there's one thing that Jose Mourinho has shown us in his past is he's got no time for grooming players that maybe 4 or 5 years from now are going to come into fruition, because let's be honest, Jose Mourinho doesn't stay at clubs for that amount of time to get their full use out of them. Jose Mourinho has got his plan set out in his mind, and immediate success is the only option for him. Not because I don't think United board will give him 2, 3, 4 years, but he is so stubborn. He's got such a big ego that he wants bang, quick turnaround. He wants quality right there and there. And I'm not going to blame him for that. I just think that United in the past have, as a club, matured players along the way. That the class of Scholes, Beckham, Nicky Butt era, these are players that matured with the squad. So it is going to be different. And this is maybe a shock to certain fans that are like, we don't want this because we like our youth. We like to bring in players and have them groom with the system. But that's not what Jose Mourinho does. And you can't really sit here and complain having just had a philosopher who brought in youth talent by need, not by choice. I will argue that till my very last breath, that Marcus Rashford was not discovered by Louis van Gaal. He was brought in out of necessity from a lack of depth in the attacking position, and it ended up being very good for Marcus Rashford. So, out of those players, is there anyone that I think Mourinho's been a little harsh on? No, because again, they're mediocre footballers. There's no one in there that just grabs me. There's no one of Rashford quality that if he was to clear out Rashford, I'd be like, what are you doing? This kid, you might not like youth, Jose, but you need to focus on him. He obviously is a player that Jose Mourinho sees a lot of value in and is going to groom him along with the likes of Zlatan and try and help mature him into a footballer. But everyone else is replaceable. Schweinsteiger, yeah, I think a part of me was just nostalgic and wanted to see the Schweinsteiger of old, now that he's retired from international duty, have a place in Manchester. When he signed for United, it was a massive, massive deal because the guy was so loyal to his team at Bayern Munich. And I think that when he moved over to Manchester United, similar to what Zlatan is doing, you just want to see them give everything. You want to see them do well in that shirt because they're such a household name in football. Same thing has happened if Zlatan doesn't hit the heights. I'd like to see him potentially be given another season. I know everyone's wanting the one-hit wonder here, but maybe, because I don't think it's as easy to adapt to the Premier League as that. And Bastian Schweinsteiger, of course, riddled with injuries last year. But is he going to be, if he was to leave, will Manchester United suffer? I don't think so. If he was to stay, would they benefit? It really depends whether you get him fit in performance. So Jose Mourinho is in a cutthroat business at this point. He is in there to do a job. He's signed players that he knows are going to come in and do the job better than those that have done it last year. And no one can blame him because Manchester United were mediocre last year. No Champions League football. Jose Mourinho has no room for ifs or buts. He's in there for certainties. So I will always defend Jose when it comes to this because this is what's needed. Manchester United needed a clearer. I would have added more players into that. I still say that I think Fellaini will leave. Everton have probably inquired about him. Fellaini, Memphis Depay can grow into a good player, but yeah, he's still not of that standard. Lindegaard, okay. So I'm looking for quality. This season will be a good season to judge what type of players Jose Mourinho has seen as his immediate fix for the plans. Because Mkhitaryan will be a good player to come in and perform. Pogba, of course, if that deal or when that deal is finally finalised, will be the main man in the midfield. So everyone else that he's stated on this list, I can't really make an excuse because they are replaceable. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think of Jose Mourinho's cutthroat clear out? Is there anyone that you would like to have seen stay? Is there anyone that you think should have been added to the list? As always, hit it in the comments. On Twitter, Francis_Maxwell. And I'll see you guys very soon.